And we are officially live. Hello to all my BC Wrestle Pod nerds out there. And welcome to the All Elite Ensemble Review, your weekly AEW post show here at BC Wrestle Pod. And we are here with the special Monday edition of our show. Normally we go live on Tuesdays, but it is finals week for me specifically at my job. And so giving out final exams to children this whole entire week and schedules and end of the year shenanigans. So we the next 2 weeks are going to be looking a little different. And so we're going live tonight, and then this week's Dynamite and Collision we will be covering on a special Sunday edition, and then we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming after that. Uh the party don't stop until I walk in. Anyways, but my name is Mikey El Jefe of BC Wrestle Pod, and joining me this evening is Mr. Beardito himself, Benny the Bear, who is in the building to help me break down the action of AEW.
Good evening, everyone. Especially the days, the gays, and all the LGBTQIAs in the building.
Yes.
Let's rock and roll.
Hell yeah, it is June 1st. Happy Pride. So hello to all my bitches and bros and non-binary hoes. So let's get into it. If you are new here or if you've been rocking with us, you know how this intro goes. We are going live. We go live every single week in a multitude of days. We have social media, BC WrestlePod, where you can see report cards and other fun stuff. We got merchandise, BC WrestlePod shop.fourthwall.com. We have a coffee bot to help us pay for pay-per-views and streaming services. It is going to be crucial, especially since it's too quiet on the summer front right now. And I'm expecting shenanigans to happen in the next 2 weeks of where, bam, we're going to have an overblown summer. And I'm like, content, but also, so at least AEW, at least you gave me redemption ahead of time so we can plan accordingly, because now we have 3 pay-per-views for the summer this year instead of 2. And we don't have an official date yet, but Spanish commentary let it slip that we are getting Grand Slam Mexico sometime in August too, allegedly. So hopefully that is also true. And I'm excited because that is when the CMLL and AEW crews will be colliding once again. It's going to be fun. But let's talk about some AEW. Specifically, we are going to start out like we always do here with AEW Dynamite. So this was a 3-hour show, and I'm like, good God, it is. I love AEW, but 3 hours of Dynamite is, woo, it's a lot. Especially now, it would be okay if it was just 3 hours of Dynamite because there's no Collision, but we had 3 hours of Dynamite and a regular 2-hour Collision episode. I'm like,
Yeah.
And this particular episode of Dynamite, while fun, was the setup episode, is what I called it. It was like lots of setup, and also finishing some things out so we can move on to some new stuff. But I will say there are some stuff on the show that I actually did like our opening segment. This was great. Watching Ospreay and Kenny talk about, specifically Kenny talking to Will about why are you associating yourself with the Death Riders? You don't need them, man. You could have asked me. And Ospreay is trying to be very respectful in this regards, but he, without in so many words, tells Kenny, it's just like, bro, you're never here. You're not in the best of health. And I needed the help, and they're helping me, which then prompts Moxley to walk in, say his piece, take Will, and leave Kenny there. I'm like, I smell a feud coming very soon, and I'm also here for it.
Yeah. I'm so here for it. I love every single bit of this. Especially brooding little Billy over here. Just being like, Bruv, you're not here. What am I supposed to do? Kenny's like, I can't be here every day. Probably because I only have limited dates on my contract.
For real.
And then Mox being Mox, just like, yeah, we all got skeletons in our closet, don't we? Oh man. This is all good stuff, man. I think we all saw where this is leading, and I'm totally here for it. Just because it's predictable doesn't mean it's a bad thing, especially if all three of these are involved.
Mm-mm. I'm excited. I cannot wait whenever we get this feud. It's going to be fun. And yeah, this is, but the reason what we talked about a little offline at what happened at the end of Collision has me intrigued because this is where it's at. But hey, let's see how this goes.
Mm.
Really quickly to shout out the chat. New friendo, Pippin ATX. What's up? Hello. Welcome to our AEW post show on a special Monday edition because we normally do this on Tuesdays, but we had to move it for the next 2 weeks. Alrighty. So that is what technically opened the show, but let's get into our first match of the show because, well, actually, we got another promo. Kevin Knight explains his actions, and there was lots of feelings from me, especially when Speedball came out to confront his friend, and Kevin Knight pushed his friend down. And guys, I would like to take a moment of silence and pour one out for Jet Speed. I'm excited for this feud now.
Oh man, this is a little sports entertaining opening. It's like let's. It's usually on AW. It's like let's head into the ring, and this week it's like we got some stories to tell, so we're gonna push them up front. Which is fine. I really like this. Jet seems really comfortable as a heel, more comfortable on the mic that he has been.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, his reasoning too of why he attacked Darby makes sense. It's like Darby could not get the job done, and so somebody's got to do it. And I love it. It's like that confidence, cockiness heel, and I love it. Pippin, you're hilarious. First horse, can't say that full word on YouTube, and now Jet Speed. My heart can't take much more. I'm gonna let people read that for themselves, but I'm not gonna say the full word on YouTube because I'm not trying to get us in trouble. But so many breakups, man.
Horse chicken.
Yeah, first horse chicken, and now Jet Speed. I feel you, Pippin. Our hearts cannot take much more of the heartache. But hey, you know what? Tony Khan, if you're listening, with the breakup of Jet Speed and some other things, I don't know, there's a certain busta in the brain that you can pull over more often to AEW. And now that we have, STP coming up a lot more too, like we need tag teams in this men's division right now. So
yeah. And we got a big one back on this episode.
Ooh.
And one new one on Saturday. And I was like, okay. I don't hate it, but we'll get there.
We got lots of things to discuss. So Kevin Knight said Darb's going to get the job done. Speedball Mike Bailey is like, bro, we're friends. This is not like you. Kevin Knight's like, nah, this is. Knock Speedball down. And we're going to talk about Speedball a little bit later when he makes his intentions known of what he wants to do next week with Kevin Knight. So we'll get to him in a little bit. Yes, more STP on my TV. And where is MXM? Yes, where is MXM Collection is my question as well. Where are the boys?
Wherever they are, I'm sure they're looking fabulous.
They really are. Love you, MXM Collection. Speaking of which, this is a video that we usually play here. Well, we used to play here. And I think it's fitting because we are talking about the MXM Collection boys. So I love you.
Let's get out of here. Johnny TV style.
That was always our outro video. I think I'm going to bring it back as our outro video now. Never change, MXM boys. Never change. Anyways, speaking of never changing, thank God, please let this be. It seems that this is finally the end of this. I thought we had officially ended it at Double or Nothing, but we had to get just one more in. So our first official opening match of this 3-hour Dynamite this past week was an everybody banned from ringside singles match, Jericho versus Ricochet. I mean, they did a lot of stuff. This feud has been going on for a little bit longer than I would have liked it, but Jericho wins and puts this feud to bed finally. and sets up a new feud with somebody else. So I'm like, when I saw this on the card, I'm like, great. And then once I saw the ending and where Jericho's going next, I'm like, thank God we're done with this feud.
Yeah, same. In typical Tony Khan booking, respectively, we get one more match after. Oh man, I'm looking forward to that one. The next one, And
Well,
there's one part that really stuck out to me in particular, and that was the walls of Jericho on the desk, and Taz was like, "Tony, why didn't you help him?" Tony's like, "Why didn't you help him, Taz?"
I like it. I like it when Tony Schiavone gets spicy on commentary and shows
Yes.
and a range of emotions because it's hilarious to watch. And Taz is just being Taz, so it's like Taz being the ever pot stirrer.
Absolutely.
Well, Pippin brings up a good point. So Jericho wins, and then Tommaso Ciampa comes out and attacks Jericho after match, and thus Ciampa has now entered the Jericho vortex. No shade to all the other people who have entered the vortex. I have more faith that Ciampa will be fine. Hopefully.
Yeah. And after what we got on Saturday, like we'll get there, but like I'm really looking forward to this one. Actually, I'm really looking forward to it.
There is lots of fun stuff to play with, and especially so it's gonna be great. And Pippin agrees. When Taz and Tony get annoyed at each other, it's the best. It really is.
It really is.
Unfiltered Tony Schiavone is hilarious and fun to watch. But again, Jericho wins. Tommaso Ciampa attacks Jericho after the match, and now we have Jericho's next feud. And I'm just glad that Ricochet and Jericho's feud is done. We can move on with the rest of our lives like a good soap opera. Anyways, so after this match, after the words, we get into technically our next match, which is I wasn't sure why we were calling it a Superstation Showcase. I was like, why is it called a Superstation? And then I did a little Googling and I was like, oh, okay. It's where we're at. Makes sense. So in a Superstation Showcase 4-way, we have Roosh versus Brian Cage versus Orange Cassidy versus Lio Rush. Leo, we're going to get to you a little bit later because this is fantastic stuff. Also, Pippin, really quickly. No, it is okay. Don't shut up. We love that you're here. And we will comment and have a conversation with you while we're also talking about the show because we're trying to engage with people who are passionate about wrestling, and we appreciate you. But anyways, with this particular match, you know what? I wasn't sure what I was going to expect because these four crop of characters in the ring together, I was like, how this gonna work? And then by the end of it, I was like, this was great. This is fun. This like Brian Cage and Roosh. I need that match like now, immediately, yesterday. Orange Cassidy being Orange Cassidy. Lio Rush is doing Blackheart. Lio Rush is probably his best decision that he has ever made in his career. Like it is such a breath of fresh air and it is fun. And the crowd, I think, is finally starting to come around and like get 100% behind it, especially when we get to that backstage. So we're going to hold off on that part a little bit later. But this match was really fun, and it truly was a showcase of the 4 different styles and types of wrestlers these boys are. And just great action. And Roosh is getting wins, y'all, and it actually matters a little bit later when we talk about it. I was like, wow, we're actually following up on Roosh's stuff. Crazy.
Yeah. It only took somebody saying something online to be like, what was that?
I wonder who that was. Oh my god. Agreed, Pippin. Very weird group of dudes, but come together really well. Yes, Brian Cage needs to hydrate, though. He just got back. We need him to hydrate.
Seriously. And after watching another Brian Cage match, so do I.
Listen, it is Pride Month, y'all, so just be ready. Anywho, Well, not even for Pride Month. We're like this 24/7 anyways on our show.
We really are, man.
Listen, Pippin, I don't know. Happy Pride to everybody too in the community and our allies as well. Pippin, just to forewarn you, this we talk about everything and we ogle our men's and women's equally. So just be prepared for that. Respectfully, of course. But again, really, like Pippin said, very weird group of individuals, but they come together very nicely. Roosh wins this match, and we gonna talk about Roosh a little bit later in this show because Homeboy has himself a big high stakes match to this I was about to say tomorrow, but it's not Tuesday, on Wednesday. God, it's throwing me off that we're doing this on Monday. Speaking of throwing me off,
you know what I thought was really funny? It was that at the end, it was Leo Rush and Roosh.
Yes, it's insane. Like, Pippin, I'm omnisexual. No one is safe from my thirsting. Hell yes! Shout out to the omnis in the chat, Pippin. Thank you. But okay, so backstage, MJF commends Kevin Knight for turning and doing what needs to be done. But I love that Kevin Knight's like, bro, chill out. It's just like, now you want to talk to me? Get out my face. Which then prompts Kyle Fletcher to come up because Kyle wants that title back. And I'm like, ooh, we have so many plot developments. Kevin Knight and Fletcher, Darby probably going to want Kevin at some point. Speedball is going to be in this picture. Listen, this TNT title scene is growing, and I'm here for the potential of contenders that we have for Kevin Knight to deal with right now.
Yeah. Hey, you can never have too many people in the mix, and I love this kind of stuff.
So, built properly, we have. Yep.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, and Kyle Fletcher being back, just and stepping up to the guy who replaced him, right? That story writes itself. Let's do it,
Mm-hmm. Heck to the yeah. So lots of contenders stepping up to Kevin Knight, which is fantastic, and I'm looking forward to it. We move on from our backstage segment, though, to get into another one, which is fantastic. Alex Windsor, she just cuts a promo. It sucks that Willow got injured, and her and Willow's match at Double or Nothing has been put on pause. But next week, Alex Windsor is ready, and she don't care who it is. She's ready to face whoever this wild card is. Going back to the last segment, another heartbreak with Kyle, but damn, he looks good in his suit. Yes. Suit Kyle is another level, and we love it. I'm hoping this wild card is... Okay, let me give you my three names. So who would I love for it to be? Because I think she deserves to get more showcase. Queen Aminata, especially since she didn't get to participate in Blood and Guts like she was originally supposed to. So I would love for her and Alex Windsor to fight in the tournament. The one who I don't want is Jamie Hayter because I feel like she doesn't need to fight her tag team bestie right now. Who is probably going to be, and if they're going to pull a major surprise, I mean, the biggest one is I could also see Mercedes Moné coming back and being the wild card, which is cool, but not what I want Mercedes to do right now. But I hope it's Queen Aminata, but we will see if our suspicions are confirmed on Wednesday when this match happens. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this was fun. And this started my complaining of the night because why are the birds standing side by side, not in front of a crowd? Just everybody else gets mic time and screen time, but let's just have all the women standing next to each other. Why not, right?
We could have did this interview on the stage and on the ramp like we have in the past for a couple other spots too. I'm just saying.
Yeah. They're not going to get better if you don't put make it a priority. So,
and we know that Alex Windsor can hold her own on the mic. She and Tekla had probably one of the funniest exchanges in recent memory too.
Yeah,
because it's fun. Like I still catch myself quoting Alex Windsor in that promo. It's just like, you absolute incredible, like tit. Like what? And then of course Tekla being Tekla is great. It's just like, I didn't get fired from Japan. Pauses and thinks about it. Okay, I did get fired from Japan. And Tekla, listen, now we got the whole Triangle of Madness behind it too, which we'll get into, which was hilarious to see as well. Pippin coming in though was not the best night for showcasing the women. No, it's not. I was mad at Dynamite this week.
Not the best week, to be honest with you. Like 5
No,
hours, and it was like 30 minutes altogether.
Tony Khan, we love you, but that is hella rude. Do better with this women's division, man, please. Anywho, let's move on
Yeah.
because we still got a lot to discuss.
Indeed, we
Like
do.
MJF's celebration, right? So this is where Roosh comes back in. Well, first, MJF is here. You know, he throws out the old belt. So the big B is back. So we got this. And so MJF cuts an MJF promo, gets interrupted by Mark Briscoe, who technically has pinned MJF and should get a title shot. Was like, yo, Briscoe, I forgot about that. Yes, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Of course, MJF is like, nah, bro, you ain't getting this match. And begins to walk out, gets confronted by Roosh. Likes what Roosh has been doing, stacking up the wins, likes his intensity. And MJF and Roosh will be for the title this Wednesday on Dynamite. I'm like, wow, we're actually giving Roosh the title match. I was like, thank God. He's not going to win, but thank God.
Yeah. I'm really happy, and it sets up 2 new challengers for the next couple of weeks. So that way, perhaps we forget about a certain somebody coming in from flying in on his one-winged angel, you know.
But yeah, so we're immediately setting up new challengers. I love it.
And Briscoe, Briscoe is like one of those guys that we that feud was great, even though it was like what 6 months ago, 7 months ago,
Something like that,
yeah. And they have amazing chemistry, so I'm here for it, you know. And Mark Briscoe is one of those guys that like you can pretty much slot him anywhere in the card, and there's really got a lot of people like that right now. Like, you just slot them in wherever they need them.
Agreed. And I do love that we're kind of in a different way continuing what Darby did with the title. And it's like immediately we just gonna put challengers in front of MJF, which I'm like, I love this. Everybody should be coming in for this world championship. It shouldn't be on the shoulders of people who only defend it like 3 times in their whole entire title run. Totally not referring to other champions across other promotions, but I also am. Anywho, let's continue though. We had a Rocky training montage with Jack Perry and Luchasaurus as Perry gets ready to face Mark Davis in a quarterfinal match of the Owen Hart. And I was just like, okay, Perry, I see you. You ain't gonna win, but I was sports entertained.
If he was gonna lose, why did this happen?
That was so weird. I'm not even gonna lie. But hey, it is what it is, as the kids say. We'll talk more about Jack Perry and Mark Davis a little bit later in the show because right now, Benny, we got to talk about this match. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
This is Slobber Knocker, and I'm going to be completely honest. It's probably my favorite match of the whole entire first 2 hours of the show.
This might be one of my favorite matches of the year.
Oh my gosh.
Television matches.
Yes. Brody King has had quite some good TV matches this year. This was listen. Yes, it was really fun to see my Swiss Army knife man Claudio Castagnoli take on everybody's favorite, on the surface intimidating but deep down loving teddy bear of Brody King. He is AEW's traveling dad, and he's also my baby daddy. No, but this was a slobber knocker. These two hit each other hard, and they worked stiff, and I was entertained. This was oh my gosh, this was such a fun one.
Yeah, man. You know, one thing I love about Claudio is that he's so versatile. Like as I just said about Mark Briscoe, is that you can really slot him in to do anything. And when you need Claudio to be the big guy, a big guy, he could be a big guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, and he just matched up with Brody King perfectly. And now this was big man stuff, and might even touch. They might have even stepped on the King's Road on this one.
Yes. This match ruled. Brody King ends up beating Claudio Castagnoli, which of course I love because I love me some Brody King. But what makes me even more excited, Benny, is that we now have that side of the bracket semifinal set. It is Brody King versus Swerve. And I'm like, that match is also going to slap.
Yeah, I really like the fact that like the men's bracket, like for the most part, is stuff that they've been setting up for months. Um, like Brody King and Swerve, and then well, we'll get to it, but you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk, and we by the end of this 3 hours, we have our both semifinal matches made, which is both really good and really fun, which we'll get into
Mm.
it. But slobber knocker of a fight, hands down. Such a good TV match, probably one of my favorites from the 3-hour block this period. For reals, I'm gonna need a gallon of water during that match. Yes, for
Yeah.
all the reasons, including the
Yes.
Listen, we love a big meaty man match, and yes, that is exactly how I meant for it to come out of my mouth.
I've
No,
said
but
this before, but like there's been only a few times in my life where I had like an actual physical reaction to anything, and that one of the times was seeing Claudio Castagnoli up close.
like you just get a whiff of him. Watching him pulverize somebody in front of you. Hey, we don't king shame on this channel. No, but this, all joking aside, honestly, Claudio and Brody King, every single time that they have matched up has always been great. But with the added context of the Owen Hart specifically trying to fight for a spot in the semifinals, it just adds different layers that makes this even more grand, in my opinion. And this was just hands down slobber knocker of a fight. And yes, run it back, please. I want like 18 more of these, please.
Yes.
Put it on a pay-per-view, damn it.
Yeah, give me this match without commercial breaks. That'd be great.
See,
I don't even think it went through a commercial break. That was the best part.
that was the,
Like,
that was the crazy part. I was like, thank the wrestling gods. But let's keep going though, because after this, we get into what was supposed to be the 5-second pose. And I was actually kind of here for it. It took us a little bit long to get to the ending part of it, but it was really fun. Listen, here's the thing. I think when Cope is not trying to be like purposely funny, it is more authentically funny to me. Like when he's like,
Yeah.
I went to the store and I saved these just for this occasion, and pulls out the digital cameras you buy from like your local drugstore, from your pharmacy, like the Walmart when we back at just the wind up like flash disposable cameras. And I was just like, he started passing them out to people. This was great. This was when he's not trying to be funny. It's when I find the Cope to be actually funny. The same thing like when them and FTR were going at it, when he asked the fans what they thought of Stokely and just broke with the reaction from that one fan. Oh, be like, he is short, he's bald, and he gets no hose. Like, so, ooh, Pippin does ask a really good question here.
Yes.
When are we going to get a combined entrance from Cope and Cage? When they mix the songs better together. Like,
Yeah. I actually sort of like I agree. I'd love to see the combined entrance at some point, and because now there's sort of like just like two single stars right now instead of just being Cope and
a
Cage.
tag team.
Yeah. I also do love the fact that like Cage hasn't really changed anything. Like he's still an asshole. But he's a lovable asshole.
it's one of the things. I don't like. At some point in all of our lives, we had that one friend who's just a complete asshole to people. But when it comes down to brass tacks, and we about to jump into a bar fight, I was like, yes, he is an asshole, but he is my asshole, and nobody's gonna lay a finger on him. Only I can do that.
Still one of my proudest moments. Still one of my proudest moments.
Seriously, he is an asshole, but he is our lovable asshole, and nobody can fight him except for me. I will say, though, this did answer one of the questions I had going into the show after we got the opening with Speedball and Kevin Knight. I was like, well, Jet Speed is done. So where does our first feud go with Cope and Cage? And sure enough, I got the answer here, because as we were getting ready for the 5-second pose, Clark Connors and David Finlay come in to beat up on Cage and Cope and do their own 5-second pose. So it seems that we might be getting Cage and Cope versus the Dogs for a hot minute of a feud. And I'm like, okay, yes, I'm here for it, especially now that you actually, since Gabe Kidd is injured, now we can put Dave and Clark into actual tag team feuds for a little bit. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think there's a perfect first opponent for Cope and Cage, because those guys are pretty comedic themselves. So this is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
This is gonna be entertaining, and I will have a ball with it. I will be sports entertained, and sometimes that's all you need. So this is gonna be understated funny, and I'm here for it though, because it's gonna be a really cool feud. Alrighty, so after our 5-second pose, Speedball, by the way, looking great in this suit, my dear friend. Love this color on you. But Speedball is still not okay with what happened, and so he challenges Kevin Knight to a match this week on Dynamite, and I'm like, oh boy! I'm here for it. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I love the spit on Speedball. They look great, and I'm glad that he's not getting. I'm glad that they're not just getting pushed to the side. They seem to be doing something with Speedball as well. So
I truly think that Kevin Knight is going to have a busy summer, because I think him, Fletcher, and whenever Darby comes back, those three are going to circle him for that TNT title, and I am here for it. So it's crazy. The mid card is setting up to be really good stuff, and we're going to talk about that announcement that happened on Collision about what we're doing with the TBS championship. And I'm just going to interject it at some random point, because at first I was like, but that type of match is really only for ROH. And then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's getting 6 women on the card. So I'm like, and it's for the TBS championship. So qualifying matches as well. So I'm like, listen, if we get more women's matches for leading into that July 1st Dynamite in San Diego for the TBS Survival of the Fittest, we gonna let's do it. Anyways, more on that a little bit later, though, because some folks are like, what's the Survival of the Fittest? Random person on the internet. I'm glad you asked. And I will tell you when we get to Collision. So we keep this going. Speedball is going to fight Kevin Knight this week. Should be fun. After this backstage segment, TJ is in action. Once again, we see Miss Everett and Allie Catch come back for some action. Listen, sign Allie Catch immediately, because Allie's great. But that's my personal opinion. But this essentially was a tune-up match, an enhancement match, a squash match, whatever your preferred vernacular is, with TJ getting the win, as we are setting them up before their eliminator match come Collision on Saturday against Divine Dominion. So I'm just happy to see TJ back in action. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but at least we finally have some direction for Divine Dominion's feud. I'm just putting it like that.
Yeah, I'm happy that Divine Dominion have a direction. So if this is it, awesome.
Yeah. Moving on. Jack Perry, I love you, but when I saw this graphic, I'm like, Lord knows, R.I.P. this kid.
Yeah.
This actually was a really good match. I did like this match. Mark Davis is just an absolute E2 Brutus, E2. He's just a brute, man. And I love that constantly putting him on television and just him decimating people has really given him so much stock. I mean, he makes a really fun champion. But Benny, you know who else likes to be an absolute monster and just dunk on people too? A certain Jake Doyle, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! The other people we be thirsting for made a return during this match. Mark Davis's tag team partner, Mr. Jake Doyle, made his return from injury. And listen, all the boys are back, and I'm gonna need a bucket and lots of water. We'll just leave it like that.
Wow. Yeah. Even though like I'll admit I'm not the biggest Jack Barry fan, but I'm not gonna just turn off a match just because I'm not the biggest fan, right? So like I can objectively be like, yeah, that was a great match. And this was a great match. I especially love the part where right before the commercial break, like it was so quick if you would have missed it, that Mark Davis suplexes Jack Perry on the apron, and Jack Perry comes off his shoes. That's why he had no shoes on when they came back from commercial break.
I was like, what happened? It's the similar equivalent to like on RuPaul's Drag Race. When I saw that Jack Perry had no shoes, I'm like, sir, why do you have no shoes? And it's the same equivalent as RuPaul saying, where did you get a loaf of bread? Like, I was like, what? Anyways, really quick, Pippin, giving his thoughts about the previous segment. Happy to see Anna Jay, but kind of meh about Ty Mello. Hey, and that is okay. I know a lot of people are not on board with Ty Mello as a team, but hey, you know what? Right now, as sad as it is to say, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible, but also disrespectful because Tony Khan needs to book this women's division better. We actually have a legit women's tag team who are going after the women's tag team championships. However, semicolon, we need more women's tag teams. Where were all the tag teams that we have? The Brawling Birds are dealing with other things at the moment. And so we're right now, Divine Dominion is just holding them titles until we can finally start building towards Brawling Birds and Divine Dominion, which on paper, that match should slap because that is a lot of beefy women in that ring. But yeah. Again, Jake Doyle returns. Super happy to see our mans is back. Mark Davis wins this match, and we have our second Owen Hart semifinal made. Ospreay versus Davis too. I'm like, Will Ospreay's gonna come for vengeance, and he gonna check that ass real quick.
I think it was like during the 4-way when Jake Doyle came back, and because what was it like?
I forgot to
Rocky
mention
Romero
it too.
And Lance, like Rocky Romero and Lance Archer came out, and then the conglomeration showed up, and then Doyle
there's just a lot of
everybody.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happened. This was a 3-hour show, and I'm gonna be honest. I watched this live, but because I watched it live too, it was getting late on my end of things, and I'm like, I still got an hour left. I'm struggling. I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So I'm just like starting to fall asleep. But yes, you are absolutely correct. But Mark Davis moves on. He's going to be facing Ospreay, and this closes out the 2-hour mark, and we still got an hour more of the show. So we kick that last hour off though with go back. Hold up. Glitching out. Hold on. There we go. This opening segment was also a lot of things because we get this promo with Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis, and then the Don Callis family comes out, and then Takeshita comes out, and he is backed up by the conglomeration. I was like, yo, Take, we running with the conglomeration? Hell yes.
Yeah, that totally works. I'm totally here for that. Well, you have a good night, my friend.
Bye, Pippin. Please subscribe and come back anytime. Whatever. We're pretty much live almost every single day of the week. Just check out when we go live. Appreciate you and love you. Loves your face. Anyways. Alrighty. But
Rock
yeah,
on.
this was rock on, dude. It'd be like, hell to the yeah. Alrighty. I love making new friends while we do this show. But back to this.
Absolutely.
Kyle Fletcher cuts a promo. Don Callis talks and cuts a promo. Don Callis' family comes out. Take comes out. Conglomeration backs him up. Oh boy.
Yeah. I love it. Like, Take even got a chance for it on Collision. So,
Oh my gosh. I was laughing so hard, and we're going to talk about that. But this is crazy with Takeshita kind of being backed up at the conglomeration, and like, even though it wasn't technically said, but I officially deem him officially a part of the conglomeration. It feels like Orange Cassidy is slowly rebuilding chaos in AEW. Like his chaos faction he had in New Japan is slowly being built back up here in AEW, and I love it.
Indeed.
So, anywho, let's keep going. Before we get to Collision, we gotta get into the rest of this. And so we get our first official match of this last hour of the 3-hour show with a trios match. This is the Death Riders of Jon Moxley and Pac teaming up with their new protege, if you Will Ospreay, to take on the Rascals. And I'm just like, now Tony Khan, I know the Rascals are not gonna win, but I need an Ospreay versus, more specifically, an Ospreay versus Dez match would go ham. But also, Ospreay versus Myron Reed would be. Listen, just have Ospreay fight all three of these boys individually. Like, let's just call it like it is. Like, that's what I want to see. But Dez and Ospreay would go ham. This match was also a lot of fun, and it almost did went ham. But we got the ham, but no cheese and bacon on it. Like, because we didn't get too far before Death Riders and Ospreay cut the head off the proverbial snake and beat the Rascals. But this was entertaining, and I had fun.
Yeah, this was a great match. Those poor Rascals never stood a chance, but
they tried, man. They tried.
I'd really like to see Myron Reed versus Pac at some point, because they just seem like they'd complement each other. And I'm really loving this version of Pac. I really am.
I wholeheartedly agree. Really fun stuff, really fun trios match, and we kept this going through the rest of this hour because after this, Joe is going to be filming season 3 of Twisted Metal. So once again, Hook is in charge, and I'm like, God damn it. We can move on, right? Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. We had nice things. You know?
Listen, I'm not mad at you. I'm not Samoa Joseph, I am not upset with you. Joseph, I am not mad. I'm not even disappointed because I want to see you succeed because you are great at, in Twisted Metal, and you are a hell of a villain in video games as well. But God damn it.
Yeah. And I also did like the fact that it left it a little bit open-ended because Hook was acting all smug, and Bowens and Shibata were like, "Who are you?"
Listen, I would take Shibata Bread in charge over Hook any day.
Oh yeah, me too.
So hey, we'll see what happens. I was like, we had nice things, but damn it. But I'm happy for you, Joe. Get this money out here. And get this acting credits too, my good friend. Anyways, we keep this going. Let's move on. This actually was really great. Divine, it'd be like, where's TJ? Oh, it is what it is. They beat him up.
Yeah.
Which sets up for what we're gonna get on Collision. So not a lot to say.
It was fun. I enjoyed this segment. To be honest with you, better than the match, but that's me.
I mean,
I'm not saying that I wanted to see him get beat up. I mean, like I like the wrinkle in the story,
I do appreciate this white and black motif that Lena and Megan are going with right now too.
Yeah, definitely. I really like it.
Love it.
That intro though doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense though. With all due respect,
I was like, I get the whole divine dominion because it's like Greek goddesses, but we got to get it together. We got to be on theme, but whatever. Anywho, let's keep rolling.
Yeah.
Andrade had a match against Ace Austin, and while I thought it was good, I'm just like, okay. I was like, fine. And this is where, at this point of the show, I was like, okay, we got to wrap this up. I'm starting to fall asleep, y'all.
Yeah, this was incredibly unforgettable to the point where I even forgot it happened.
Yes.
And I love both these guys. There's no disrespect to any of them. I'm not just trying to get on top of them, I'm just trying to be rude, but like it was fine.
Literally was the definition of let's just put this as a placeholder until we get to the next part. Like,
yeah,
a match to have a match, and sometimes Collision does that, but yeah, Andrade wins. I was like, cool.
I did love the part where Andrade like kissed Aubrey's hand, and she was like, "The hell." Sir, I am at work.
God, it was so good. Anyways, after this match, though,
yeah,
I love it when the Japanese. I'm just gonna put this out there over the first thing. I love it when the Japanese wrestlers always incorporate the bicycle and pay homage to the Yakuza games. Because we saw Kota Ibushi do it when he rode around in a bike with the ring, hitting people with the pipe. And then we literally had Shida in this match run over Chris Statlander with the bike and then use it as like a modified chainsaw, just whacking her with the tire, which is not easy to do because bikes are heavy, even though from a distance they don't look that they are, but they are a little bit of some weight to it. But main event, lights out Philly street fight, Stat Daddy versus Hikaru Shida. This match was so much fun. Like,
I really like this one. Yeah, it was really cool. I had no doubt that this was going to be probably a match of the night. It seems a little bit early to have a lights out match, but that's just me. Another critique is that like, why are they always calling street fights, but they're in the ring? That makes no sense.
That's what I said. It's like fight outside, fight at the concession stands. Like, what are we doing?
Fight in the back, the whole
fight in the parking lot. Call it a parking lot brawl.
It's just one of those like nitpicky little things where I'm like, why? Like, just call it a hardcore match, But either way, it was really great, and it was way more brutal than I was expecting it to be, especially with the light tubes. I think that's one of the first times outside of the Nick Gage appearance that light tubes been used in AEW.
Seriously, insane.
So this one was really fun. Good stuff out of both of them.
100% agreed. And that is what closed out this 3-hour show. We are 52 minutes in, and we still got a 2-hour Collision to go. So let's get into Collision right now. Alrighty. Collision will be a lot easier to talk about because Collision didn't waste my time this week. It didn't feel over bloated, which was nice to see. So let's kick off AEW Collision. And we kick things off with this backstage segment. Listen, Take got the backpack, so he's officially a conglomeration member. And we open up with our Trios Championship match. The conglomeration with the actual 3 people to hold the title is Orange Cassidy, Roddy Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly taking on the Don Callis family in the form of Rocky Romero, Lance Archer, and Trent Beretta. Really fun match. I love that we always get to open with the Trios Championships, it seems like, on Collision a lot recently, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. This was a fun little match. I love the fact that Roddy, who's always been a very innovative wrestler, is finding even more innovative ways to use Orange Cassidy as a weapon. And I really love the finish to this, where Kyle ties up Lance Archer in the ropes, and then Roddy does something to Trent. Well, of course, Orange Cassidy hits a lazy elbow drop on Rocky.
I love this. Like, the conglomeration are actually really great right now, and I love them. And yeah, we're gonna get to it in a little bit later though. But Tony Khan, I saw something brewing at the very end of the show. Are we about to have an all-out war? Because I'm here for it. So, anyways, let's keep this going though. So after this match, we get the 5-minute tag team championship eliminator match. I'm not going to lie. I love these women. This match was a little rough around the edges. Even for 5 minutes, this was a little rough around the edges. Actually, it was a lot of rough around the edges. JJ wins. They get a championship match. Cool. Match was really rough. I'm not even going to front, Benny. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that was fine. Like, I really like it, but I'm not really into. I like. There's a lot of stuff in AEW right now where like all the big people are doing the same moves,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like that. Like, change it up. Like these two are fantastic wrestlers. Lena Cross and Megan
Megan
Bayne.
Bayne.
Both fantastic wrestlers. So making them just like a generic big guy team or big person team is boring to me. I'm sorry, it's just boring.
I want to see the Megan Bayne that went up against, at All-Star Grand Queendom. That is the Megan Bayne that needs to be unleashed. Let her pull out these moves that we know she has in the bag.
Yeah, fantastic. Lena Cross is really great too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what we're doing here. You know, this was fine though. Like they survived the thing, so they get a championship match next week, which keeps the feud rolling, and that's fine. You know, I'm not gonna complain about uh, a feud for the women, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll complain about how much time was given to it, but I'm not.
Facts.
They don't get enough time for me to complain.
That hurt. That hurt.
Besides that, big men stuff is just boring.
That's true. Unless you're Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli, then I'm like, yes. But that's for different reasons. Hubba hubba. Anyways, let's move on. This shit right here. See, when you allow Tommaso Ciampa just to be, I don't know, himself, to be funny when he's feuding with certain people, this is the shit you get. And yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love this so freaking much. As a wrestling history person, this shit made me giggle and laugh.
Yeah, the best line out of all of this was, to me, was "I hate arm bars." Because if you've seen that segment, like every other move is an arm bar. So like, such a great callback. Such a great callback. Because it's like
I wasn't fully sold on this feud, and I'm like, I'm still not fully sold, but Tommaso Ciampa, you gonna be entertaining this feud, and I'm here for it.
definitely.
I'm excited.
And I think Jericho is realizing that he can't do as much as he was trying to do in the last run.
Mhm.
So he's sort of like limiting what he's doing, and that's fine because you can't do everything anymore, dude. So
No, you cannot. So,
it,
we're developing this feud, and I'm very interested to see where this feud goes during the summer. So it should be entertaining. Anywho, after this, uh, sorry, I want more time. Damn it, because listen, as somebody who watches Stardom, Hazuki is so damn good, and so is Maya World. And Persephone on commentary, girl, love you too. Um, Showcase match for those who are very unaware. This is Hazuki of Stardom versus Maya World. Hazuki, like I said, is coming over from Japan. She is participating in the women's Owen Hart. She and Persephone are supposed to go at it in the quarterfinals, which is going to be happening next week. I love Hazuki's presentation, and I think Maya was really good to showcase her skills against it. And I'm looking forward to this match this week for the Owen Hart.
I thought that was great from everybody involved. Persephone was really great on commentary. I like that she was selling the. She had the eye makeup
Mm-hmm.
from the Black Mist. A little confused why it would be black and blue, but I'm not gonna dwell. I'm not gonna dwell. I really thought that Maya World was the perfect person to have this match with Hazuki with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Hazuki's fantastic, right? Like, and I've only seen her a handful of times, and I'm like, well, this is a special talent. And everything I've learned about her is that like she is a great talent, and she's been at this stage in her career, she's more of a enhancement, not enhancement, but like she's there to build other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a word called a carpenter that they use for that kind of thing, right?
She's a reliable hand, as we call in certain businesses too.
Yeah, and I was really impressed by the fact that the crowd had probably no idea who she was, and she got them within 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
because she knows how to work. So
She really does. And anytime the Stardom girls get to come over too, I'm just like, yes, the AEW fandom is gonna be in for a treat.
yeah,
Which
it's
I
a nice
love.
little show. It's a great little showcase match.
100%. So Hazuki wins. Her and Persephone kind of go down with the stare down and in the face a little bit. And I'm looking forward to this match this week. I believe they're doing it on Collision, so this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the match. Anyways, let's keep the show going. Even more greatness. Lee Moriarty is in action with another kind of essentially showcase slash tune up slash insert enhancement term here. I love that Lee Moriarty gets to get time like this, especially for folks who don't really watch Ring of Honor and don't understand the greatness that is our ROH Pure Champion. Um, please, Tony, with Tiger Style getting more TV time on Collision. Not only do I hope we see STB be here longer, but please give me the Zack Sabre Jr. and Tiger Style Lee Moriarty match at Forbidden Door. Do it now.
Yes, please. This really wasn't much to talk about in this one. That Bobby Bosby or whatever his name, Tim Bosby, he was pretty impressive in the short amount of time I saw him. Lee Moriarty, well, what else can you say about him except protect your neck?
Protect your neck, and also go to his art shows. They are fabulous. Anyways, let's keep going. Speaking of STP, the boys of the infantry find themselves locked into a match against the Death Riders. Infantry, y'all been looking great. Like, so good to see a lot of STP on Collision. And they had a really good they had a really good outing with the Death Riders, in my opinion. Obviously, Death Riders win this match, but listen, Infantry, y'all always been my boys, and I'm so happy to see y'all right here in this spot on Collision.
Yeah, I've always been a very big fan of the infantry since they started out in ROH or whatever. I honestly, on paper, I was like, oh, this is going to be good for them because of who they're going up against. But this one really surprised me. Pac even got the BBC. I'm a little bit disappointed that there was no Trish Adora on this show.
How dare they?
But I do understand that she was working Pride style in Las Vegas on Sunday. So, hey, priorities, right? You know, Pride style looks like a great promotion. I know that they've been doing great stuff for a long time. So
love you, Trish. We love you.
Yeah, I love Trish Adora so much.
Trish is great.
Yeah, Trish don't miss, as they say.
Nope.
But this was really fun. I really enjoyed this one. That Christina, whatever her name is, oh boy, that girl needs work. That girl is green as her shirt.
Yep. Ooh, homegirl is green, but that is okay. When you got the infantry, Shane Taylor and Tiger Style to and Trish to help you along the way, I'm like, she's gonna be in good hands. So Death Riders get the win here. We would see a collision with a bunch of these people that we've talked about earlier in a little bit, which let's get back to this. This was funny as hell because they got me for a couple of seconds. And then when they all turned, I was like, damn it, I got hoodwinked. I was like, damn it, Tekla, not again. And this time she got the whole entire Triangle of Madness to do this too.
Speaking of, well, the word I was thinking about was winked, was because at the end, Sky winked at the camera. So who knows? And with somebody getting the mist, perhaps there might be this triangle might become a square.
Listen, I'm not gonna say no to that. It would be so good. Anyways, so Sky is also competing in the Owen Hart, which is very soon. As soon as we're ready to go, it will be Sky Blue versus Sari, and that match should be fun. Very interested to see Sari in AEW because she's probably one of the hottest freelancers right now in Japan in terms of women's Joshi wrestling. So I'm excited. Anyways, also I love Sari too because if you have the legendaries, I should say, if you have Julia, Mayu Iwatani, and Meiko Satamoto praising you and your wrestling, then you are in good hands, girl. Like, those are like my trifecta of women that I was like, oh, damn. In the world of Joshi, if Julia, Mayu Iwatani, and Meiko Satamoto all tell you the shit, then girl, yes, you are. Oof, that's a big compliment. Anywho, let's keep this going. This backstage segment, I was laughing. And also, shout out to Leo Rush for Pride Month. Hey, like,
yeah, right?
Yes, the rainbow. I was like, that is not a coincidence. That is the Progress Pride colors right there.
Yeah, that was not a coincidence, especially like with Pride being today and this airing on Saturday. You know, so
it's like Leo Blackheart, Leo Rush is an ally, y'all, and we love it. But I was dying. Orange Cassidy's like, if you don't move, he will not notice you. And then afterwards, Roddy's like, how'd you know that worked? Actually, I didn't know it would work.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying that the conglomeration needs to be Don Callis Family 2.0, just them collecting the kids, right? But let's put Leo Rush into this, put Blackheart into the conglomeration. And then you have such an odd squad that I will die hard follow through. You got Orange, Roddy, Kyle, Ishii, you have Willow, you have Hologram. Now we got Takeshita. Why not add Blackheart into the mix? I am here for this oddball faction. Again, Orange Cassidy is building chaos in AEW again.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Thank you.
It actually sort of makes sense that Blackheart Leo Rush would be an ally because he built this character in Riot Cabaret.
For real. Yes. This was fun. I need wrestling to be fun sometimes, and Collision always provides me with some good fun. But you know what else, Benny? It provides me with sadness sometimes because I'm like, I love you, Guns, but I knew you weren't gonna win.
No. I really like this match a lot. This is probably my favorite tag match of the week. And I really like that AEW has been leaning into the NJPW style of tag team formula, where like tags are suggested. Take as much time and take as much time in the ring as you want, and do as many double teams as you want. I don't care. Seriously. Poor Stephon Smith is just going.
Shout out to Stephon, we love you. Really fun match. Dogs win this one, which makes sense because they are seeming to be teeing up to fight Cope and Cage for those titles at some point. So really fun match. I love the Guns. I really hope that now that we're back and if everyone's okay, I want them to become contenders once again in the tag division scene, which I think is a possibility given that we have Proto Sheeta and Jet Speed broken up at the moment. We are going to need more tag teams.
Yeah. I like the Guns. Like they seem to be putting it all together. Athleticism was never the issue with them, and they've always been goofy, but like they seem to be honing in right now. I like it.
Yo, Daddy is very proud of you boys, and so are we. Anyways, let's keep this going. We get a quick match between Jake Doyle and Mark Davis just beating up on some fools, and we call it a day.
Yeah. This was a little fun little squash match by something machines. Doyle, I don't know what to call them, but
we gotta work. We're gonna workshop this tag team name because we got Dunkzilla and we got Doyle. So Davis and Doyle, D&T connection, I guess, for now.
Man, was it whenever Doyle dropped that national title or whatever? A trio of Davis, Doyle, and Brian Cage.
Oh my God!
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, the other trios would have to be worried, but also, yes, Benny.
Yeah. And like the thing is, right? Like I love this kind of stuff because like they really need they got a lot of high flyers right now.
We need some monsters.
Yeah, we need some monsters to catch those high flyers. So.
Swatting them out the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and that is like 800 pounds of just nastiness walking around.
Seriously.
Lord help us. I don't think I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I don't know if my body's ready for it, but I'm ready for it. But no, I'm happy to see Doyle and Davis back in action as a tag team. Davis has been doing really great stuff as singles competitor, but I'm excited to pick up back Doyle and Davis as a tag team, honestly. So, moving on though, because we get into our main event of Collision. Again, Collision didn't waste a lot of time this week. And in our main event, we have the AEW International Championship being defended. Of course, our new champion, Konosuke Takeshita, after winning it off of and beating Kazuchika Okada back at Double or Nothing. This is the first title defense in Takeshita's reign as international champion. And honestly, a really good, fun first opponent because Danny is always reliable when it comes to this. And I thought this was a really fun match. I really did enjoy this one. And Takeshita and Danny do have some good chemistry together. This match was fun, and I thought it was really great. Honestly, this was fantastic. I don't have too much complaints. I was like, this is a pretty solid main event.
Yeah, this was a pretty great match. It actually makes me want to see Daniel Garcia and or Willa Yuta a little bit more often, because as great as John Moxley, Pac, and Claudio are, you got two young guys in that group that are just wasting away. They're just not doing anything. Not wasting away, but they're just not doing anything. And
Have
uh,
them go after the TNT championship because then you add those two into the mix with Jet Speed, Darby, and Kyle. Like, honestly, that is a good crop of opponents for Kevin Knight, honestly.
yeah, I'd be happy to see Willa Yuta or Daniel Garcia or is it in the tag division?
Same thing. You got these two young ones, and if we build them up along with the Guns and the Dogs to a certain extent too, you have a good fresh crop of tag teams that are not FTR going after those tag titles.
Yeah, exactly. And I love FTI, but they need to stay the fuck away from it.
They need to take a staycation for like a
Yes.
month and a half at least.
Yes, go home for a little while. One thing I loved was that they sort of winked at it on commentary that they were like, this is the first time that these two have worked together on television because this was the finals of BOLA, the Battle of Los Angeles, a couple years ago. So they're pretty well versed with each other, And, oh man, if anybody ever gets a chance to go check that out on YouTube or whatever, oh man, that's a great match.
Yeah, it was crazy to hear that this is the first time on AEW television that these two have locked up. I'm like, oh shit, are we being for real? And then I double checked. I'm like, damn, that's crazy how we've never had them interact before like this before on AEW television. And what was even crazier, Benny? Takeshita wins, solid match, but then we get a full on. Listen, as somebody who loves the Warriors, I was like, we're about to see a full street brawl right now because everybody and their mother comes out. And essentially on one side, we have the Don Callis family and STP. And on the other side, we have the conglomeration with, new member Takeshita and the Death Riders. I'm just like, oh my God, what are we about to do, Tony? I smell a plot.
And one Nigel McGuinness.
Oh, that's the other one too. I was like, randomly, Nigel is in this here. I was like, what the flip is happening? Oh my god!
He started fighting Clark Connors and Lee Moriarty at the end, and dropped the head through the left.
There are so many people in this. Again, STP, Don Callis family, the Dogs, and then you got the conglomeration, Nigel, and the Death Riders. I'm like, yo, what are we about to do?
I'm so here for it, man. Like,
I smell anarchy in the arena at some point this summer.
Yeah. I hope it just doesn't end up being a battle royal or something.
No. Let's have two anarchy in the arenas. There's enough people to divide the teams in half. Like, honestly, we need two of those matches.
Yeah, I agree.
So, really fun way to end Collision. And that, my friends, is our AEW post show for this past week. Again, Dynamite had some cool stuff, but I was getting tired. There was a lot of setup, and it felt bloated to a certain extent. Collision was nice and easy and just fresh and great to watch. Good stuff. So we are back to our regular, currently scheduled 2 hours Dynamite, 2-hour Collision, and I'm like, listen, I love me some good content, but thank God, I was just like, 4 hours is enough because 5 hours, I'm like, we're pulling pay-per-view territory, and I'm like, ooh, if we don't got 3 hours worth of content, it's gonna be a struggle to get through that first 2 hours. But I was checking the calendar, Benny, and we're back to our regular schedule, Dynamite and Collision to being 2 hours, but it's that summertime, and you know what that means. It's Wednesday. No, I'm just kidding. No, it is Wednesday and Saturday Collision, but this week is Dynamite and Collision, but we are next week, Benny, we got to prepare ourselves because we are back officially with the summer specials because next week's Dynamite and Collision, we are back with summer blockbuster season.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
Well,
summer blockbuster Dynamite and summer blockbuster Collision is next week.
I wonder when the next Battle of the Belts thing is. Like,
I don't know if we're ever going to see that again because Tony's like, yeah, probably not. But hey, I would like to have a couple of championship matches. Like, have a Dynamite dedicated to championship matches.
well, what I mean is like, like they actually a couple weeks ago they did the thing at the golf arena, which
Mhm.
is essentially what it was. Like, it was like a 1 hour special.
Well, I'm glad you
Oh,
brought that
the
up.
boat race one, right? At the boat one.
Yeah, and that's coming up in July for Beach Break. So Beach Break is actually at a venue with a beach and water in front of it. So it's Clearwater, Florida, and it's gonna be at a boat venue. Like there's water and boats. So I'm like, you already know that it is gonna be crazy. I was like, they will actually get to fight in the ocean. That would be hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
So
Darby's literally gonna jump a shark.
seriously, it is going to be fantastic. But AEW Summer ends up being a really fun season because they bring out Summer Blockbuster. We got Beach Break coming up, in summer as well. Grand Slam Mexico is allegedly happening in August, and then of course we have Forbidden Door, Redemption, and All In for the summer season. AEW, y'all got the summer. Y'all got to keep this momentum going, y'all. So I'm hoping that you do. But that is going to be it for us here this Monday evening. Benny and I will be back this Sunday for our AEW show once again because scheduling is just a bitch. But after that, we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming. And this week is a little bit of a short one. Again, due to finals week and my schedule being super crazy, we have AEW tonight, and then we will be back live this Friday for TNA, and then we will be heading into the summer season because next week is stacked. Sunday, we got AEW. Monday, we got a double dose of New Japan Best of the Super Junior Finals. And Eve 150 is this weekend, which I am so excited because all the matches we have are going to be fantastic. Then, of course, so that's Monday next week. Tuesday, there's no AEW show, but we will be having our first AAA show. Me and Kilt will be talking about the 2 weeks of Los Grandes de Noches. So that is going to be fun. Wednesday, NXT CMLL. Thursday is another double hitter. Mystery Wrestling is back on our calendar this Thursday. Next Thursday, not this Thursday. Next Thursday. And then, of course, I will also be here to talk about more progress, especially now that we have it under new co-owners of Big Damo and Nikki Storm, which I'm excited to talk about a little bit about that on that show. And then Friday is TNA and some summer is stacked, y'all. I'm excited. Next week is busy, so we're just preparing for this week. But anyways, me and Benny got to get up on out of here. I know he bounced earlier in the show, but shout out to our new friendo Pippin, and hopefully you do come back to terrorize us in the chat because you are great. And it was fun getting to have a chance to have conversations with you during our show. But from Benny and I and the rest of the BC Wrestle Pod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay biconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. Well, I'll see you Friday for our TNA post show. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.